Hello.
Hello?
Nee, nee, na, na, nee, nee, noo, noo. So sang the pop group Bad Manners back in the 1980s. Now, they weren't having a bit of fun, but it seems like their prophecy has come true. Bad manners are everywhere these days. So what is happening to this great nation of ours? Being British used to mean something. It used to stand for politeness and manners and law and order and Winston Churchill and Shakespeare and fish and chips and bobbies in helmets, evening all, and Top of the Pops and songs of praise on a Sunday. But now, what have we become? A nation of chavs and bling and Heat magazine and Big Brother and binge drinking and hoodies and spitting in the street and knife-wielding gangs and crack cocaine being sold on every street corner. What's going on? Can we really call this country Great Britain any longer? It all comes back to that one thing. Manners. We've lost the idea of good manners. We've become a bad-mannered nation. There are no manners anymore, only bad manners. Yes, not good manners, bad ones. Manners, that is. So what can be done about it? Are our schools to blame? Are GCSEs too easy these days? Is it because of modern liberal parenting? Should we ban violent computer games? Or should we just bring back hanging? You decide. Call in and let me know what you think on 0800 068 7060 or email us at downtheline@bbc.co.uk. Hello.
All right, Cal. How's it going, mate? Martin Hull.
Hello, Martin. How are you?
Yeah, I'm all right, mate. How are you?
I'm really good. What's your call?
I was want to say, Cal, your show, right, is different gravy, mate. Different gravy.
Right, thank you. That's a good thing, yeah?
Your show is different gravy, mate. It's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of these phone-in shows, right? But your show, your one, is different gravy, mate.
Good. Thank you for
Different gravy.
that. Good, thanks.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I'll tell you what I'm ringing, Cal, about the discipline and how, the kids are out of control on my estate. They are mental.
Yeah.
I won't go near them, I tell you. I say it's quite simple. Bring back the birch, right?
Yeah.
Step out of line, wallop, yeah? The young girls, they're worse. They're out of control, aren't they? All the drinking and that.
Right.
Women need to know their place, right? Because women's liberation has gone too far. I mean, have you seen that lot? They're going out in the streets, they're showing everything. There's nothing left to imagine. I mean, and get them off the roads. They can't drive. They can't drive. You see them pulling out, going back. I mean, they want to get back into their home, right, and get on with the cooking, right? I make Rodney Marsh right. If this was the 70s, women would know their place, right? But I know that the liberals out there are going to moan, but you know I'm right, I know I'm right, everyone knows I'm right. Bring back hanging, girl.
Right.
Right. Floggings, beatings, public humiliation, bring back hanging, right?
Well, that just sounds like Sharia law.
Sounds like what, mate?
Sharia law.
What's that?
Muslim law.
What are you talking about, mate?
I'm talking about, in certain
Muslim,
countries...
Mate. Don't tell me I'm a Muslim, all right?
You follow their beliefs.
Listen, I had that idea before I knew about them, all right? I don't want them coming over here telling us what to do, trying to change our way of life. You know what I mean? Introduce their barbaric laws over here. No.
They're not changing your way of life. You're saying that's what you want to do. You want to do what they do.
No, but I thought of it before them.
You didn't, because hang on, you didn't think of it before them, because this has been something they've been practising for hundreds of years.
What are you saying, mate? You saying that I'm like one of them? They're nutters. They'll chuck your hand up as soon as look at you.
No, they won't. You can't just say that at Muslims.
Listen, mate, I used to think your show was different gravy, but I've come to the conclusion that it's just the same gravy, isn't it? Same gravy, mate.
All right, thanks for your call.
Same gravy. Same gravy.
Get off. OK, I've got Neil King on the phone. Hello, Neil.
Hello. I'd like to talk about manners.
Right.
I have very good manners. My mother taught me very good table manners, and I was always shown to open the door for a lady and say please and thank you. And I still hold on to those manners as I've gone into adult life. Unfortunately, they haven't really helped me. For instance, my wife left me, and we got divorced, and I was very well-mannered throughout that. I was very polite to the other party and to my wife. And I find myself now living alone. And if I'm honest, Gary, I'm essentially a well-mannered failure.
But surely you're not a failure, because throughout all that you can look at yourself and say, I might have failed, but I've been a failure with dignity.
Is that enough?
Enough of what?
Is that enough to sit in a room on your own and think, well, I know how to hold my knife and fork properly tonight as I ate beans on toast on my own?
I think you should give yourself a pat on the back and be proud of yourself. And it's a shame your wife's obviously missed out on you.
What I'm saying is I see people in the street with bad manners. I see great brutes pushing women around, spitting, smoking, and they seem to grab life, and they seem to enjoy life. They seem to get the things in life that we all want.
I'd rather be poor with manners than rich with none.
I beg your pardon. Just say that again, because I thought it was excellent. I might write that down.
Right, I'd rather be poor with manners than rich with none.
Didn't sound so good the second time, does it?
Hello, I have Humphrey Milner on the phone. Hello, Humphrey.
Good evening, Gary.
Good evening.
Lovely to speak to you again, as ever.
Yes.
I'd like to join in this debate on young people having no respect and everybody complaining. Well, the thing is, if you look at any period in history, right back even to Roman times, there are Roman writers complaining that the youth of today are badly behaved, they have no respect for the traditions and the beliefs of the old people, and nothing has changed.
Well, I'm surprised you say that, because obviously you've been around a long time, and I would have thought you, obviously, as a young man, would have been quite polite.
Well, actually, Gary, in my youth, I was something of a tearaway. I grew up in the war. My father was away fighting.
Yeah.
And there was very little discipline at home. We ran wild, and I was 15 when the war ended, and I did, I was a tearaway.
So what kind of things did you do as a tearaway?
Oh, no, I got up to all sorts of hijinks. Gary, we went scrumping, we would knock on people's doors and run away.
Yeah.
We would throw bricks through windows.
It's getting worse.
We killed someone's horse once.
That's bad.
It was sick.
But it's all fairly harmless. I mean,
set fire to an old lady's house.
That's bad. Yeah. Do you think that that young people should go on, say, national service? Do you think the fact that people don't go away to war these days, the youth, that they do feel like they can run amok and do what they like?
Good Lord, no. What a ludicrous concept it is to say it's quite all right for you to go abroad and shoot a number of people, but it's a terrible thing to do at home. That's double standards. That's hypocrisy of a desperate level.
Yeah, that's true.
And what message are we sending out to our young people, Gary, about the value of human life? Are we trying to tell them that somehow a foreigner's life is less precious than one of our own? I mean, how does it add up?
No, good point.
I mean, what are we saying, that 24 dead Arabs equals one dead
frog
British lad?
Yeah.
What are we saying, that 7 dead Frenchmen equals one dead British grenadier? And what happens, in the United Nations, when the French are fighting on our side against some foreigners? Their lives now somehow have become worth more than when we were fighting against them in a war. How many plucky Danes are worth a dead German?
6.
It's the grisly mathematics of war, Gary.
Yeah, it is.
How many Belgians and Italians equals one dead Scotchman, Englishman, and Irishman?
I don't know.
And what about the Welsh?
Yeah.
What are they worth? And let's not get started on the Portuguese.
But how would you deal personally with these kids on the street these days who are 14, 15? What would you do? I mean, because you can't arrest them because they're too young. You can't put them into prisons.
Well, I think people have been asking that question, Gary, since the beginning of this programme.
Thanks very much for your call, Humphrey.
My pleasure. Thank you very much.
Okay, I've got Dee Swindles on the phone. Hello, Dee.
Hiya, Gary. Basically, my job is I'm a closed-circuit TV operative. Basically, I sit all day at the screen watching other people, and I've been watching people on camera for 15 years, and I've seen all sorts.
Oh.
I've seen copulation, urination, I've seen
At the same time?
defecation, cannibalism. I've seen campanology, fare evasion. I've seen street juggling. I've seen takeaways just thrown away, uneaten rights, whole pizzas just left. I've seen a dog lay down its life for a man. I've seen a man lay down his life for a crow. I've seen infestations of bats, mice, chickens, dwarves. I've seen a vampire. I've seen a fight to the death between 2 pigs. I've seen cats with 6 legs. I've seen Moira Stewart.
What a terrible indictment of British society.
Most days, though, it's just, your usual cases of littering.
Have you seen anything? I mean, that's some bad things. Have you seen anything fun at all?
Well, I have seen a man cook a frozen pizza in a trouser press.
Well, there you go. Then there's a little glimmer of hope there for the human race. But it's a testament to how inventive and clever the British public can be. Thanks for your call. Aren't the British public great? I don't know about you, but I'm sure if I was anything other than British, if I was, say, French or Italian, I'd be a little disappointed with myself. OK, we've got another call now and down the line. What do you want to say? Hello.
I'm on the air.
You're on the air, yeah.
I'm on the air.
Yes.
My name is Horace. No, there's a couple of things I want to mention.
Yeah.
And, I mean, some people might not agree with me, but I think that everything gone too political correct in this country.
Do you think so?
And also, I think that there's too many foreigners coming in here, and they're not proper British,
Oh, I don't know about that.
All of them foreigners, the people coming in, them have them one thing, Diwali and the Brazilian dance and salsa and God knows what. What happened to proper British things,
Like what?
Morris dancing and badger baiting and fox hunting and all them things, pint to pint. And
yeah, but to be fair, you're an immigrant yourself, is that right?
Cows Week and the other one, Huscott, I mean, nobody's bigging up them things anymore.
No.
And I don't think it's right,
But hang on, but you're an immigrant, obviously yourself. What's wrong with new immigrants coming in? Why should you have preference?
I've been here since the 50s, and when I come here, right, there was not so much foreigners. Now there's too much coming in.
Oh, come on.
A lot of people will say, well, you can't talk that. I'm sure you will even say to me, no, you can't talk that.
You can't talk that?
Yeah, I know you're going to say that, but I'm going to talk it, and I'm talking it now. And I think it's time that someone stand up and talk it and say, there's too much foreigners coming in here, and we have to put a stop to it. And we also have to celebrate.
What would you say?
things.
Do you want them to leave? Do you want to get them out, or do you just stop them coming in?
Put a block at the part and make them have to take some sort of test.
What kind of test would you give them?
Well, give them a test to make sure they understand British culture.
Like what?
Morris dance, maybe they could badger bait, do something.
Yeah, but to be honest, people don't do Morris dancing anymore. Can't you think of a more relevant test for today?
Use an intelligent man. Use your brains. I mean, ask them some question.
Well, like what?
Well, how could you make summer pudding, right? Or hawks them how you make toad in the hole.
Hang on, but to be honest, I'm not an immigrant. I don't know how to make a toad in the hole.
Oh, come on,
summer pudding.
No.
That's not
you're
fair.
You're shaming up yourself now. Don't talk that, please.
Thanks very much for your call. Thank you. Thank you.
All right.
Racist. OK, down the line now we have Tom Wiley from America. Hello, Tom.
Good day to you, sir. Professor Tom Wiley here. I am, as you know, a mathematologist with a special portfolio with regard to war.
Yes. You're also a warologist, aren't you?
I am indeed a warologist.
OK, and you have an equation for us?
I do indeed have an equation that can help calculate the value of human life.
Oh. Sounds good. Amazing. That's something we've been crying out for ages.
Would you like to hear the equation?
Yes.
Okay. Here goes.
Okay.
V, the value of human life, equals X, one home soldier, times D, where D is the distance from the home base, times Y, per capita income, over Z, where Z is, I'm sorry, I can't read my handwriting here. Where are you? Where Z is the emotional characteristic of the home nation. For example, a Middle Eastern person tends to be more emotionally volatile than, say, someone from the northern regions of Europe.
So what you're saying is the further away and the poorer they are, the less value they have. Right. Does that solely relate to...
That's about it, sir.
But does that solely relate to soldiers or civilians as well?
Well, civilians don't count.
They don't.
Purely competence. Non-competence are not encompassed by this equation, though I could get back to you. I could put some time in on that.
No, that's okay. Thanks very much for your call.
Good day to you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
My next call, I've got Delisha. Hello. What's your point?
I've worked as a nanny for 10 years. I've worked all over the world, all kinds of families.
Yeah.
People have got a lot of money, and I'm looking after their kids.
Yeah, you are, yeah.
And the parents really want to hit the kid. You can just see it.
Not all parents.
Because children are so frustrating. They get you to boiling point. I can see what the parents are thinking. I can see what's going on. I can see it in their eyes. That they think, God, I'd love to hit the kid, but I can't.
Well, that's good, isn't it? Everyone gets annoyed with children and they probably want to hit the kid, but they don't.
I was working
they're showing
for this
restraint.
family.
What?
And the mother went out to work.
Yeah.
She was up to her limit with this kid. On her way out, she scribbled on a piece of paper, hit her, left the house. I did it. and it takes the pressure off the mum and dad.
So you hit the children for the parents?
They can sleep easy at night, and I move on 6 months later.
So you provide like a hitting service for children, so that parents don't have to feel guilty?
An arrangement is arrived at. Everyone's happy.
Apart from the kid, I mean, don't you feel bad about it?
No, it works. I could take a fresh job every week of the year. My salary has grown exponentially. I'm cleaning up because people know on the grapevine, Delisha whops the kids, and whopping works.
Well, you know, it's not good. Thanks very much for your call. I don't condone it. I would never hit a child. Thanks very much for your call, and you shouldn't either. Thank you for your call. Thank you. OK. I've got Neil Muir on the phone. Hello, Neil.
Hello?
Hello.
Yes, hello. We're talking today about the youth being out of control,
Yeah.
society falling apart, criminals on the streets, all this sort of stuff. We all know what the answer is to it.
What's that?
Bring back capital punishment.
Well, I'm not going to argue with you on that
Well,
one.
I don't think anyone in their right mind would they? I mean,
No.
you only have to look at America. They have capital punishment over there, and the murder rate is considerably lower. There's much less gun crime, much less crime of all kinds on the streets.
Well, I think you'll find there's more violent crime and murder in America than in almost any other country in the world.
Is there?
Yes.
Oh, well, it obviously doesn't work then.
No.
Oh, okay. Oh, fair enough. Well, that's that then.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Thanks for your call. Hello. Hello, who's there?
Oh, hello, this is the Duchess of Cool.
Right.
I was listening in about national service, and I think they should bring back national service for young people. That's part of the problem. Young men used to get all their raping and murdering out of their system.
Oh.
My husband was in the army, Jeffrey. He raped his way across the continent and murdered his way around the world. And when he got back, he was like a timid little mouse. And it did him the world of good, and he got it all out of his system. Men will be men, boys will be boys. He hasn't bothered me since.
Thanks, Duchess. OK, my next caller is Graham Downs. Hello, Graham.
Hello, Kevin. Yes, Graham. I was very interested about the spitting and the impoliteness, I have to say. But we're frightened of the youth, aren't we? And some of them are all right, Gavin. I think the more that we alienate them, the more they're going to be like that. Some of them...
Exactly.
I mean, they look horrible, don't they, with the way they comb their hair, some of them, and I don't like that.
What about all the nice youths that who do good things
Yeah,
for
but
people?
we don't talk about them.
No, we don't.
No. But I mean, I have to make a slight criticism in the shows like yours, Gabby. Encourage it. And I say, look at that, the stabbings and the guns and that. Some of them are not all bad, Gary.
No.
But can I make another point, Gary?
Yeah.
Just have a find. What do dogs make of music? Because you know, my best friend's a dog. I've got an Alsace, I've got a German Shepherd one. What does music mean to them? Well, I play the guitar, Gary.
Do you?
I play the guitar. I don't know if you know the Samba Party by Carlos Santana. Well, I've learned that on my guitar, and I played it to Prince. As you know, I named my dog after Prince Charles. I'm the violinist. I am, Gary. And I played the Samba Party, and he looked at me quite quizzically, and then ran to the corner of the room. He didn't like it at all.
Well, maybe you didn't play it very well.
What did you say, Gary?
Maybe...
I don't think this conversation has gone as well as some of our conversations, Gary.
Listen.
Are you questioning my ability on the guitar? Because I can play that note perfect.
Well, go and play it for us now.
I haven't got my guitar. Wait, I'll get back to you. Wait, you...
Ring back with your guitar.
Okay, Gavin, I'll call you back.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay, my next call is Stephen Vey. Hello, Stephen.
Hello.
And what are you calling about?
I feel I must ring in. On the topic of education.
Yes.
I was a headmaster at a small comprehensive school, and I've been made increasingly aware of the lack of discipline, which I'm sorry, I was quite emotional about this, which is becoming endemic in our classrooms today. And our hands are tied. We are not allowed to raise our voices. We are not allowed to strike the children. We are not allowed to discipline them in any way. And this is a very, very difficult subject. But I was taking over a class, a science class.
Yeah.
My colleague was ill, and there was one boy who was being a particular menace. Very big lad. He's very popular with his classmates, I'm told. He reached puberty very young, around 9, and now at 14 he almost has a fully grown beard.
Right.
And he was cheeking me endlessly cheeking me and undermining me, and excuse me. And he said, "Sir, pull my finger." And I said, "Pardon?" He said, "Sir, pull my finger." I pulled his finger, and he cracked out a fart. Well, you may find it funny, but I lost my temper, which is the cardinal sin, and I struck him.
I think a lot of people have a lot of sympathy for you. I think that, is it such a bad thing what you did to that boy? He did overstep the mark, and I do think he was in the wrong, and children should understand.
I lost control. I stepped over the line. I lost control, and I absolutely pulverized him. Crushed his head in the desk. I flung him across the table. The children were screaming, even some of the bigger lads, and they were trying to pull me off. I really just saw red. I've not experienced this since the army, and I just trod on his head, stamped on him.
Yeah.
I remember I got on top of the desk, and I knee dropped him in the face, and I lost my job. And in a way, I deserved it.
Possibly, I think possibly he was in the wrong, and possibly you were right to do what you did, and possibly a lot of people will be agreeing with what you did do, and possibly you're some kind of hero.
I think knee dropping a 14-year-old boy from 4 or 5 feet, I weigh about 15 stone, is possibly beyond the pale as a teacher.
Possibly. I don't know. I think there'll be a lot of people on your side.
Thanks very much.
OK, right, thanks for your call. OK, we've got some emails here. I've got an email here from Phil Aftershave. I don't know if that's a made-up name or not. But he says, bring back hanging. And I've got another email here from Judy Kenyon, who says, don't bring back hanging. Ahmed Hussein has emailed in saying, God is great, God is great. Full range of opinions there. Keep your emails coming in. Let's go back to the phones. Hello. Who's there?
Yes, I was interested in the thing about music and animals.
Yeah?
And it's something I know a little bit about. So I think the best way to do it would be to demonstrate on the piano.
Oh, that'd be great.
I'll just play a bit of a piece as we would hear it.
As we would hear it, a human being.
Hold on.
Okay. I like it.
It's a little snatch of a maple leaf rag.
Right, yeah, I know it.
Now,
I heard it quite, yeah.
Dogs and cats, if they came into the room, they'd probably hear something like this.
They must get really frightened. It's quite disturbing for dogs and cats, isn't it?
It is, but
that noise.
I don't think people realise that at all, because they've got sort of a different sort of, you know, you can play to a dog and think, oh, it's enjoying it, but it's probably enjoying the vibrations more. That applies to cats. But if I were to go into the dogs and cats comfort zone, I'd probably have to play like this.
Yeah. So, hang on. So
now that would be more pleasant for cats and dogs.
But that's what we're hearing, okay?
I mean, if you were to go to a cat's disco, you probably wouldn't enjoy it.
No, I probably would. What you just played just then?
Yes.
What would that sound like if you played it to an owl?
Well, that would kill an owl.
Would it? Why is that?
Well, they've got terribly sensitive hearing. I mean, they can hear a dormouse chewing at hundreds of yards. Scott Joplin would be fatal to an owl.
Well, thanks very much for your call there, Louis, and a little bit of a word of warning to all our listeners. Don't play any music near owls. I've got Urquhart Boller on the phone here. He wants to talk about the disciplining of children. Hello?
Yes. If we hit a child, we are actually hitting ourselves.
Yeah.
If we go to war against another country, we go to war against ourselves. Remember, we are one race, one people, one species. And the ones who deny this, politicians from every part of the political spectrum, nationalists, religious leaders, they are deniers of humanity.
Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry, I've been quite stressed recently, and I've got a relaxation tape, and you sound just like the bloke who does the relaxation. Sorry, carry on.
The human race shows incredible optimism and resourcefulness and desire in the face of almost impossible barbarism and hatred and deceit. Still, love flourishes.
What, eh?
We must take heart from this and never become too cynical.
Yeah.
Never forget that we are really one. Black and white, Jew and Nazi, Christian and Muslim. We are all humans. We have to forgive. Jew must forgive Nazi. An Arab must forgive Jew. And Christian must... Hello? Hello? Are you there?
Sorry, I'm sort of programmed to fall asleep to this voice.
Yes.
So, what were you saying?
We are all one. Defy your religious and political leaders who state otherwise, for they are the ultimate tool of division and misery and pestilence and war. I forgive you, Gary Bellamy.
Well, thanks for that. We've got Graham Downs now back on the line with his guitar. Hello, Graham.
Hello, Gary. I've plugged the guitar in.
Yeah.
And it's just I was a little bit angry, a bit furious with you earlier. I don't never last for long, Gary. You know, I think it's a sign of quite a healthy relationship, actually, that we can have a disagreement.
I'm sorry if I did upset you.
No, it's okay. I was just thinking that if the people of Israel and Palestine could overcome their difficulties, and maybe a little bit of music.
Let's just remind the audience at home listening. You played Santana, is that right? And the dog ran away.
It looked at me in a funny way, looked curiously.
Yeah.
And suddenly it was whoosh.
Ran away.
Whoosh, like that.
Okay. So we're now going to...
Give me a couple of minutes. Just it's not minutes.
Okay.
But I'll just pop myself up a bit.
Right, this is a first for Down the Line. Graham Downs' rendition of Santana's Samba Partey. Take it away, Graham. It's not bad. That's Graham there. That's Prince. All right. Graham. 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 He's still going. Well, what a lovely way to end the last episode of the last series ever of Down the Line, ever. Until the next series sometime in the new year. I'm GB. Good night. God bless.
Can I?